Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included Spaced Out DLC. And in the previous episode we have started digging out a cellar and I asked you what we wanted to do with it. And the people who voiced their opinion wanted me to do something with the magma we have down below. Now, I was kind of thinking that the magma could exchange our petroleum generators we have set up right here. So at the moment, they only kick in if we don't have enough power. We can see that right here with this wire. However, we could lead the wire all the way down below to a bunch of steam turbines that are only going to turn on if we have not enough power, and therefore we're going to use the magma to generate that extra power. Also, a lot of people were generally interested in how you could accomplish that, so maybe that is a good idea to do today. The biggest problem about these setups is that you always have to dig through the abyssalite layer, so somehow we have to get down below in order to be able to touch the magma, and then of course at some point it is going to solidify, which isn't going to be extremely convenient. Actually, let's have a look at that. It solidifies at 1409 degrees or so. Even if it is solidified, it is still going to provide power to our steam turbines for a whole bunch of cycles. So we have to cool it down all the way to 200 degrees for it to be useless. So what we might be able to accomplish is dig away everything, then have a bunch of gases in between the magma layer and the top portion, transferring the heat this way instead of having to touch the magma literally. The question is, what do we want to take as a medium? I'm kind of tempted to use my hydrogen, to be completely honest with you. We have a whole bunch of hydrogen up here, and I don't think the gases have any point where they become something else. They can be as hot as they want and they are still going to remain gases. That basically means we need a double liquid lock. We need to make it inside of the hot room. Actually, we shouldn't touch the hot room. This is actually going to be a little bit more of a challenge than I thought. I think the first thing I want to do is just get rid of everything we still have going on here. That should be good. Or should we start on the other side maybe? No, the abyssalite is also really close at this point. But it would be kind of great to get rid of the magma heat this way. But I think we might want to keep it a vacuum. Otherwise, if I make a mistake and all the heat of the magma is leaking through, I'm basically screwed and I'm gonna be responsible for killing all my duplicates. You know what? In this case, I believe I'm gonna make my liquid lock right here. This should be good. So all of this should also be exchanged. Come on. We're then gonna have our bottle emptier right here, and then I will have to achieve a vacuum. So actually maybe we don't do that just yet. If I only dig out this part, we might be able to fill this up with a liquid without having to pump out anything. You know, just keep this a vacuum already. So I do not want to dig up anything just yet. Bottle emptier right here. So this tile is going to be filled with a liquid, and then we dig up this. The liquid is going to seep through, but we're still going to have a vacuum. Yeah, I kind of want to try that without a pump. Now, my granite ladders are actually not going to do the trick. We might use something more precious, like obsidian. Let me quickly check. Obsidian properties, 2700. Okay, so that would actually be easy. Maybe even igneous rock is actually going to do the trick in terms of ladders. Melting point 1400. No, those would melt as well. But yeah, if we accomplish today's project, we should be able to get rid of the magma slowly, make use of it by creating energy in a quite non-violent way. I'm going to also use petroleum for this liquid lock. With the vacuum, theoretically, it shouldn't start heating up. Ashcan is bringing a little bit. Wonderful. So that is working perfectly. I'm just gonna let this dribble in. And now we should be able to poke through here. Though, no, this is already carbon dioxide. Why do you have to do this to me? Let's go ahead, deconstruct this, fill this up with tiles. So we're gonna put some granite in there, get rid of the carbon dioxide. There we go, that's what I'm talking about, getting rid of that. I want to achieve this without the pump. Now we're digging away these tiles and we still have a vacuum. Wonderful, that actually worked out perfectly. We have a vacuum and we can now dig down here. Let's see. Now I basically want to dig away everything that isn't abyssalite and maybe move it upstairs so we can still use it as a resource. As you can see, the abyssalite is just quite too hot. It's getting over 1000 degrees, but the materials above it is just slightly above 100. So if we did something like that, we should be able to dig away all the obsidian. We then might want to set up an automatic dispenser, maybe right here, and I'm gonna fill it up with the materials we have laying here on the floor. Just sweep those up. Like, there's tons of granite we can use for building still. Alright, nice. It's actually starting to come along. I just want to make sure that we start digging out everything that isn't abyssalite, and then we need to pick it up as a next step. The automatic dispenser is already in place. That would be within raw minerals. We want to pick up granite and obsidian. What else do we have here? What is this? A little bit of igneous rock. And then we also have some iron. Igneous rock and then metal ore. We take a whole bunch of iron. Then we want to make sure this is sweep only and it's at a high priority since this is only temporary and I want them to do this job rather quickly. But yeah, essentially we can tell them to pick up everything that is on the floor here. I also don't want it to pick up on heat, which it shouldn't do on the abyssalite. It only usually does that when there is some liquid on the abyssalite. Looks like we have enough petroleum in here. So after this bottle, I'm just gonna deconstruct this again. Wonderful. Looks like that is going to work. All the materials are being dropped here on the top floor and we have a clean slate to work with. And I believe in order for my pattern to add up again, I might actually want to make this another insulated layer. That also means I would want my staircase down a little bit in order to actually build all of this. Turner, as usual, is doing the best job, taking care of all the problems. Man, I'm so proud of this guy. At some point we have to give him a medal or something. Wonderful, already looking pretty good. We can even get rid of a bunch of ladders already. And then start picking up the materials. Now, I'm not 100% sure if we are gonna have enough space. We are definitely gonna need a bunch of steam turbines, and then we also need a layer, and then another steam room that is at least, well, we can make it like 2 tiles in height. So yeah, if we compact the system, we are definitely gonna have enough space. And then we build a whole bunch of tungsten tiles, or we could also use steel in order to transfer the heat from the magma all the way up to the steam room. And of course we have to automate everything so it doesn't get too hot. Nails in the meantime is picking up all the materials. We don't have to collect the abyssalite, this can just drop down into the magma, I do not mind that. So maybe at this point we can already think about the steam room, that would definitely go right there. And I might want to make this out of better tiles. Yeah, we definitely want to use either ceramic or igneous rock. We have enough materials for 10 ceramic tiles, which would mean 2 of the steam turbines. So in this case, I would say let's craft more ceramic. 400 per tile. That's 4 crafts, only for 1 tile. Holy cow. So 20 crafts for another steam turbine. Let's do 60 ceramic crafts. Do I have enough materials? Yeah, looks like it. But yeah, that is definitely gonna take a while. Good thing we already started the production. For everything that isn't touching the steam room, I'm still gonna go with igneous rock. So only these tiles right here should be ceramic. And then on top of it, we can have our steam turbines. The material of the steam turbines doesn't really matter. It's always gonna be the same. So we're gonna have at least 2 here. Let me think. I might want to set up way more than that. However, if we do it like that, we're not gonna have any space for sensors and stuff like that. Ah, yes, and we also need a cooling loop for the steam turbines. Oh man, I can already tell the ceramic project is going to take a while, but I think it's going to be worth it, you know, to be as efficient as possible. The room down below here is going to be hot, and we want as little heat as possible to seep through. Before I actually build the first steam turbine, I might want to have my bottle emptier here for the cooling solution. But yeah, after that, I guess the next step is to dig down some more. For now, I'm not gonna dig quite into the lava layer, just a little bit above. Since we have achieved a vacuum, this should be possible and no problem whatsoever. One thing I'm wondering is this under pressure? So is this gonna come up a little bit once I open it? That would be horrible. But yeah, if we do this right, we might be able to make them survive. I just noticed that the grub fruit plants actually don't work in chlorine, so that was kind of a bad idea, except we exchanged the chlorine in this room. I mean, it's not necessary to have it in here, it was just convenient to collect it somewhere, you know. But yeah, today let's focus on this project. I definitely want to figure out today what we can do with the magma. Okay, so far so good, this is coming along. Maybe another thing we can already do is grab the power wires. We're definitely gonna need some of those, and they should go all the way down here. I will have to craft some more copper. Yeah, I don't have quite enough materials. So copper please, make me another 50 crafts. We still have 113 tons, but we're definitely running out at some point. Another thing we should get prepared is the steam room. I'm only gonna make it 2 in height. Let me actually think, is this gonna be enough? Theoretically it should work out, and these tiles can also be igneous rock. Since we're only ever actively going to heat up the steam room, yeah, I think that's gonna be fine. The most important part is this row right here, just so that the steam turbines don't have to be cooled down more than absolutely necessary. We are still working a little bit on the carbon dioxide, but from the looks of it, we are actually doing a rather good job. Let's actually have a quick check here on the top. Yeah, look at that. All of that is now being filled up. Man, we definitely need an infinite storage. From my second planetoid, even more materials are being brought over. I'm trying to dig everything up, but we're gonna have to give someone the super digging skill on the second planetoid. Ever since Turner left, it's not the same. As soon as this floor is being built, we can get rid of the ladders. I just don't want the granites to drop down. Everything here at the bottom is gonna be lost due to heat. Look at Ashcan, he's going insane. Within the steam room itself, we are going to need a aqua tuner made out of steel. And I believe just one aqua tuner is gonna do the trick. So this is gonna be a very easy setup. We want to make sure that we leave a little bit of space free for each of the steam turbines to have a pipe going down below to dump back the water. So that means we want to set up a bridge for each center of the steam turbine. And then this will go like so, and this will go like so. Kima. Actually, this could be a little bit of a space issue if we want to bypass the aqua tuner. We want a pipe sensor here in order to determine whether or not the liquid, the coolant, needs to go through the aqua tuner. If the liquid is already cool enough, it can bypass this way. Actually, we might not even need the last bridge, because here is the liquid that potentially needs to be cooled down. It can go down below here, join up with the loop. If it is cool enough, it's gonna go all the way up, starting to cool down the steam turbines. It will then continue somewhat like this. We have a bunch of steel pipes right here. For instance, this is going to be a cooling spot, this is going to be a cooling spot, and that's going to be the same for each steam turbine. We should then be able to continue this, set up more liquid bridges into the other direction. Let's also already set up the liquid vents. And then in the center of each steam turbine, we want a hotspot. So instead of a tile right there, we are going to need a mechanized airlock. So that will go right here. We can open and close the door in order to provide the heat. And then on top of here, we can have a sensor. But yeah, the sensor for the aqua tuner is going to be in the way. You know what? In this case, I think I'm going to move the entire setup slightly. So instead of having the first steam turbine over the aqua tuner, we're going to leave that space free. Aqua tuner and sensor are still going to occupy these 3 tiles. However, as of this point, we could have our first steam turbine. This would leave me more than enough room for the entire setup to be proper. Okay, I fixed it. Everything has been moved a little bit towards the left. Now let's do the aqua tuner setup. The bypass is gonna go upwards. Then we want to bridge over so that the direction of the flow is guaranteed. To be sure nothing happens, I believe what I want is to make sure that the bypass has priority. So this bridge here is for the flow of direction, and this bridge here is for the priority. Everything coming out of the aqua tuner processed is not gonna have priority. That means whenever we're getting into a interruption of flow within the coolant, the bypass is gonna have priority, and therefore I'm not cooling down any liquids that are already too cold. Then, as mentioned, we're gonna need a thermosensor right there. We should also be able to set up the automation wire, which can be iron, I believe. Actually, I have to check if that's gonna be no problem. Yeah, melting point 1500 degrees. This is gonna be 200 degrees max if we do it right. I'm not yet sure how many steam turbines we're gonna have, but once the cooling loop is done, actually we have a radiant pipe in the center of each steam turbine. But once that is done, we wanna come back. Want to bridge over this gap, bridge over there, and then join back with our cooling loop, or the aqua tuner loop. So this should all be bridged over. Wonderful. That's actually an easy enough and symmetrical setup. I like it. By the way, once we have used up all the magma power, we're gonna introduce the minor volcanoes, so they can supply new hot magma to the system, but I'm gonna need more space, so a lot of this magma has to solidify and cool down substantially before we can start digging it up. But yeah, essentially once we have this set up, we can kind of go crazy in terms of using power. I'm already looking forward to that. Maybe you have a bunch of ideas for power-hungry systems that are actually useful. Power cable is already built. I got some more copper in the joint, not too much, but we're just gonna keep on going with that wire. Actually, we could go ahead and speed things up a little bit by just crafting copper in each of my refineries. Why the heck not? Why do we have 3 if we don't use them? Actually, the one here I'm gonna use in order to produce some more iron, and then we are gonna go for steel. Pipe thermal sensor is already in place. What coolant are we gonna use? Maybe polluted water? That would probably be the best. So let's say we want this to be above 0 degrees, and if that is the case, then we're gonna cool it down. So where is my polluted water? Oh no, that's gonna be a pain in the butt. Is this mostly polluted water? Yeah, instead of building an elaborate pipe system to bring this down, I think I'm just gonna gather up some polluted water somewhere here and then pump it into the system. Easy peasy. This is not too hot here, so I'm gonna do something like that, and then we take a bottle emptier, can place that right here, and we start filling this up with polluted water in order to have enough for the aqua tuner loop. There it is already, liquid polluted water. Where is it? Hold the phone. Right there, and we want enable auto bottle. As soon as we got the power here, we're gonna temporarily need this pump in order to get the loop going. Let's maybe drag this through here, and then right in here we're gonna bridge to fill it up more or less conveniently. Since this room here is already a vacuum, it's gonna be actually rather easy to power up the aqua tuner. All we have to do is set up a conductive plate here, and it's not gonna be able to transfer the heat into the vacuum. I'm also gonna keep digging into this direction a little bit, and I wonder, could we, for instance, set up a tile here in order to get rid of that magma that is a little bit in the way? I think that might be a good idea. Wonderful. Aqua tuner in place. Let's continue with our heavy watt conductive wires. Oh, actually, yeah, I do have some more copper. Not too much, mind you, but we definitely want to go up here. And then we might want a heavy watt conductive joint plate right here instead of this insulated tile. So that would go right there. And then I'm gonna use the iron material in order to connect all of these steam turbines. What do you think is a good number? Maybe 6 of them. Do I even have the space for that? Yeah, we could barely accomplish this, but maybe not in the beginning, since there is quite a bit of hot stuff lurking around. Oh crap, the liquid pump here needs to be made out of a better material. Please take this apart. We could go with gold amalgam in order to fix this. Come on, somebody take apart that pump, please. Thank you very much, whoever you are. I poked the holes through the center bottom hole, so now we should be able to set up these doors. And just above that, we would want a thermosensor for each of the doors in order to determine whether or not they need to be opened. Oh, actually, they need to go down one more block. Of course, that wouldn't work. Otherwise, the steam is going into this tile and it's still gonna take on the heat of the door. So what we have to do first of all is replace this with a steel tile. Could also be wolframite, for instance. And then at the bottom, we are gonna have those doors. And then we also need to kind of close these off. No problem. I can take apart one more of these tiles in order to accomplish that. Actually, we don't have to do that. We can just access it from this side. Yeah, what am I thinking? We're gonna need some automation wire. This one needs to be made out of steel because it is going to get very hot, especially in the door tile. And then here at the bottom, we want to exchange this entire row with the steel metal tiles. Now, I actually want to be rather careful with this. I need to make sure that in the beginning, until we set the machine in motion, we want these doors to be wide open. I already built the automation wire that's coming from my battery steam room setup. And this, of course, is going to dictate whether or not the steam turbines are running. We can already see that I'm not going to have enough space. So what we have to do is dig out a lot of this obsidian and abyssalite in the hopes we can lower the magma level just a tiny bit. This is not good. The door is actually already heating up a little bit, and that might be because of the abyssalite that's behind it or the abyssalite right here, though theoretically it shouldn't do that. I mean, abyssalite has a heat conductivity of 0. But yeah, apparently the doors are heating up, so let's just hope we get this in the joint soon enough. Let's actually see what these sensors are set to. If it is below 7 degrees, the doors are gonna open. Let's just set this to the highest number possible, 9,000 degrees. And that means the doors are gonna be open until I decide otherwise. And now that the doors are open, they are actually not going to heat up whatsoever. Okay, made myself a little safe game. Now it's time to start digging up some of these materials, see how that goes. Oh, okay, don't build these steam turbines just yet. Look at that, it's already heated up to 800 degrees. Not good at all. Yeah, I first need to get this insulated layer down. This could be a slight issue. We now have all this hot material. Yeah, I think I want to get rid of that, make this all drop down a little bit. And only after that we build the steam turbines. Oh no, Gene, what are you doing? Gosh, I knew it! It's always Gene! Oh, please, just build that and get the heck out of there. Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh. Anyways, what we now want to achieve is build metal tiles this way, and this should be steel. Actually, we don't need this one here. We need to be able to ladder down. And then here on the other side, we're still digging like crazy. All of this material needs to drop down. We're gonna run into so many space issues, man. Yeah, we just need to make sure that none of the magma is making it up to my contraptions already. Okay, next up, let's take apart this layer, exchange it with metal tiles, but we first also want to dig this down one more block. I don't want any of the materials to be on the top floor there. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna dig everything I can without getting into troubles. This should be possible here. Great, now these metal tiles are obviously always gonna be heated up, but they're only gonna transfer the heat to the mechanized doors if we have them closed. As of this point, every step will have to be carefully planned out, otherwise I will kill one of my duplicants. I mean, if it's gonna be Jean, it's probably her own fault. Yeah, good stuff. We can start building more of our steel tiles here. Made myself another safe game. It's now time to build a couple of ladders, and then we're gonna try to open this up, get rid of everything here, so the magma on the right side can flow to the left side. Gonna start chipping away right here first of all. I need to be careful. I built this out of granite. Intentionally, actually. This should then all be melted away. And now let's get rid of this entire layer. Turner, you can do the job. Just don't fall into the magma. It's gonna be the last thing you do. Okay, so far so good. I never said this is not going to be dangerous. We're now exchanging the last 3 metal tiles here. Then we're gonna make our way down here and break this open. Okay, at this point I think we're ready. Let's open this up, hopefully get rid of a whole bunch of magma here so we can dig away as many tiles as possible and make space for draining the magma on the left side. There it goes. Turner, please survive. Yes, get out of there. Okay, that is good. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Now we can slowly but surely ladder our way down. However, we have a vacuum here, so we can do even more in terms of ladders. Dig away all of these tiles. Yeah, I can see this working. It's always going to be a little bit complicated to push away the magma. In the meantime, Turner is making good progress here. I like that. We should be able to reach these tiles now. And then if we're lucky, we can even ladder over here and take apart some more. Oh, actually, I need to be careful. I don't want them to be a hero and jump into the magma. They might do that, actually. Yes. Okay, and you can also reach this part. This is wonderful. This is exactly the space that I needed. Okay, great. Now with all this space, we should be able to drain this side, but yeah, safe game. We're gonna go ahead and open this up right here. Let's see who's coming. Oh no, it's potentially Jean. She's gonna die. There she is. I'm already gonna select her and use the move it thing in case she does something stupid. Go away. Okay, there we go. Exactly what I wanted to see. That means we can now open this up as well. Maybe make it drain a tiny bit faster. But yeah, these ladders are now going to be melted one after another, which is absolutely fine. Okay, now I kind of want to make sure that none of the lava is going on the top here. This would be devastating. Maybe we just add a bunch of tiles in the meantime. And then we can also keep on building right here. And look at that. It actually frees up all the space that I'm going to require. This is amazing. It works out. That means we can now build our last 2 steam turbines and maybe wrap up this room for the time being. We might expand it in the future, who knows. The refined iron right here unfortunately is lost. I cannot pick that up anymore. It's just too hot. So in the magma it goes. Right now it looks as though we will have to go and dig a little bit deeper. I have to be able to at least reach this tile, and then we might also want to get down here a little bit. Take away some more of this obsidian. Okay, I decided to progress a little bit further, and I thought, why the heck go small if we can go a little bit bigger? So 8 steam turbines is what we're gonna go with. At the moment, I'm trying to push back the magma here a little bit. This is going to be quite agonizing. The magma is not behaving the way I wanted it to. It's not filling up all the spots properly. So essentially what we want to do is push it back and start building this so this can all be in one vacuum. Maybe I can save this piece of granite here. before it gets too hot. Yeah, so this is still going to take a while. However, I did put in all of the piping. Everything should be included now. So I believe in the next episode we should be able to get this running. But I'm gonna need to dedicate a whole bunch of time to finish this. Once we have the lower room established, we should be able to pump in some water into this room, then seal it off. And after that, we're gonna pump in a little bit of petroleum to take care of the steam turbines. Actually, if I keep on building here a little bit, I might be able to take away much more of the stone, hopefully causing the magma layer to go down one more. Oh, Jean is a little bit low on health. Let's maybe put her into a bed. Yeah, there we go, 80%. That's unreachable. Yeah, I will have to poke in holes from the top, sacrificing a bit of igneous rock in the process. Actually, this is working. Yeah, let's continue here a little bit, and we're just gonna dig away the terrain. This is gonna make it much easier for me. I guess it's just a matter of time until this flows down a bit more, so that we can finish this build. It's sure taking its sweet time though. This is so mean. Why aren't you behaving more liquidy? Okay, I guess I cannot finish it after all. We also need to be careful. Some of these metal tiles have heated up because the doors were closed for just a little bit. So even getting water into the steam room could be problematic. Well then, it did take a while to push through, but I did it. Just to wrap this video up in dignity, we should now easily be able to just put all the metal tiles here at the bottom, as we dig away the temporary insulated tiles I have placed. We can also go ahead and set up all the mechanized airlocks we have the space for, and I guess we can also close this off. Yeah, we don't need this anymore. I want to make sure I always pick up the granite as fast as possible before it gets too hot to handle. I just noticed we don't have any more steel, and I built these tiles out of iron. This is so devastating. Thermal conductivity of 55 and the steel has 54. Actually, it doesn't matter. The iron might even be better. Yeah, maybe I should have built everything out of iron anyways. No, we're gonna see this through. Let's just craft more steel. It's just the last 5 tiles that were iron. One thing we could do is exchange these tiles with insulated tiles so we have the steel available to use elsewhere. Okay, there's not much left to do. I think I'm just gonna wrap up the steel doors here, as well as the corner on the bottom left side. And then in the beginning of the next episode, we can fill in all the liquids, make sure the cooling loop is working, and actually get this thing going. In the beginning, we obviously don't need it that much, but now we can basically go berserk in terms of using power. I would say with that out of the way, we're gonna wrap it up for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye bye.